episode of Song Title Challenge, where the question is, climbers, how should you write this one? Okay, we have listeners of this podcast, aka climbers, send in their song titles. You can send in one, you can send in 100. Just don't send them in twice. Just send them to me once. Send them to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com. Put Song Title Challenge or STC in the subject line so it gets in the right folder. If you don't, it won't. I get a ton of crap. So you want to make sure it gets in there for consideration. I just store them up in a folder on my email, and then Brent and I invite an esteemed guest onto our podcast, and I pick a title. I drop it on them right there in the moment. And what you should be doing before you go into a writing room, but it's also an exercise that maybe if you get the opportunity to write with an artist and they're like, you know what? And Brent's wearing a Smashville hat from the Nashville Predators.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to write a song called Smashville. And you're like, oh God, okay. And if that's what the artist wants to write, then you know what? You're going to want a song title challenge this to see, make sure you have the best possible conceptual angle on it. Sometimes the first thing you think of is the right way to go, but mostly you got to dig a little bit. You got to do a little work to get down to that one angle where you're like, oh man. And that can take even the most mundane title or a title that just seems that everybody would expect would go a certain roll your eyes, yawn, ho-hum way. And then it's almost like an ambush. It's almost not fair when you do this, right, Brent?
Right.
So it's not a co-write in any way, shape, or form, guys. It's just a fun, creative exercise, a play in the sandbox. You get to see how some other professionals sort of flex that artistic muscle. So use all of what we say, use none of what we say. We demand nothing other than an invite to the number one party, right?
That is right. Yeah, this is for kind of infotainment, hopefully to inspire you and entertain you at the same time, to dig a little more deeply into those titles you have sitting around. So good time.
That's right. That's right. So introduce our guest today.
Yeah.
We got a heavy hit again.
Yes. Today's guest is a country music singer, songwriter, and musician, in addition to releasing 3 albums on the Dead Reckoning record label, which she founded with Kieran Kane. She is also a founding member of the Grammy Award-winning bluegrass group, The Steel Drivers. Steel Drivers are awesome, y'all. And not only that, but my old friend and high school football teammate, Matt Dame, is currently their male vocalist, and he's pretty awesome too. So that's fun. So I'm even a bigger fan these days because I have a friend in the band.
You got some skin in the game. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And today's guest wrote A Little Gasoline, which was a single released by Terry Clark from her album Fearless. She also works as a studio musician, primarily on fiddle and violin. And I mean, she's been on like a bunch of records, and that's really cool. And if memory serves me correctly, she played fiddle on the demo for Monday Morning Church, which was later recorded by Alan Jackson.
What?
And so thank you for changing my life, because I love that fiddle, and I should talk to you about that sometime. Anyway, Tammy Rogers King, welcome to The Climb.
Thank you. Yeah, that makes me sound really old, all those list things, but thank you.
That could all happen in a short lifetime, Tammy.
That's true.
You sound awesome. Nobody talked about the time frame.
There you go. So there you
I started at 3 years old.
Yeah.
And I wrote Monday Morning Church when I was 5. So we're all good.
Yes, all good.
Thank you for saying yes, Tammy.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm glad this worked out. I love songwriting, and, I've been writing songs since I was about 15.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been a really big part of my musical expression in life. So I love what you're talking about, the creativity and, the melding of musical ideas and lyrical ideas. And, if I don't write enough songs, I get really in a weird headspace, and same thing if I don't play enough. So to me, it's very symbiotic.
You write because you have to, because if you don't write and you don't play, you'd be on the 6 o'clock news climbing a tower with a gun.
Too much.
That's the definition of a true artist, y'all, right there.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think Stephen Pressfield said, if you don't let that stuff out, it like still water, if water's flowing, it stays pretty clean. You dam it up and it gets toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of me too. If I can't go create and do stuff, it's just not good for anybody, including me or anyone around me. So
yeah.
Glad we can be an outlet today and make the world a safer place for those around you.
That's right. That's right. So this is It's interesting because just the way you describe this exercise is kind of what I do every time I sit down and write.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, cool. Well, real quick, before we put the spaghetti in the machine, let me ask you a quick question. On the Brandy Clark cut that you got, was that an outside cut?
Oh, the Terry Clark, you mean?
Or Terry Clark. I'm sorry. Yeah, Terry Clark.
Yes, I wrote that with Dean Miller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is Prince of the Road. Yes, I love it. Call him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very cool.
We actually, we weren't thinking Terry when we wrote that. It was just the way I like to write is just write the best song you can write and not really think about who you're writing it for.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really had any success. Okay, I'm going to write this song for Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And get it to him and he cuts it. That just hasn't ever worked for me. So yeah, the funny thing was little behind the story, because I'm sure you have people watching and listening that love those behind the story things.
Absolutely.
Including us. Yes.
Yeah. Brent and I being first and foremost.
Forget them. I'm just interested.
Yeah.
Forget everybody else.
Well, a little gasoline bumped off my other song on that record.
Oh.
No way. That's such a
Oh, it hurt so bad because it was the song that I wrote with Deanna Bryant, and we absolutely and still love the song, and it still hasn't been cut. It's just one of those. And Terry would back me up on this. She's my neighbor now. She lives a block away, which is hilarious.
Oh.
We've got really good friends, but I didn't know her at the time, but she had decided she was going to kind of do a departure from the female hat act thing. And
Mm-hmm.
she had cut our song on the first batch and took it around and played it for everybody. This is what I want to do. This is the direction I'm going. And then turned the record into the label. And they're like, we don't hear a single. So then they came back around and they found, or somebody pitched her a little gasoline. So they recorded a little gasoline. It bumped That's the Way I Want to Go off the record and became the first single.
So it's like,
I mean, I hate that for you, but at the same time, if you're going to get bumped off a record, that's the best way to do it.
I know.
single. Yeah.
I felt great for Dean, but terrible for Deanna, because they felt the song. I mean, it was what, and they played it for everybody, and it was like, so anyway.
Oh my gosh.
That stuff happened.
Crazy. All right. Are we ready to go here? You guys ready to get creative and stuff?
Yes.
Yes. No, never, but this never stopped before.
All right. So this is, this title is given to us from Jill Sankbeil. I'm sure I'm murdering this. I'm so sorry, Jill. It's Senkbeil. Sankbeil. So forgive me if I'm murdering your last name, Jill. The song title is 3 words. It's Break Me Beautiful. Break Me Beautiful.
Interesting.
So my hot take on this right off the bat is, first of all, I like the alliteration of it, right? It sort of rolls off the tongue.
I'm a fan of that.
Nice. I feel like it may be a little specific, but I think with some words before it or some words after it, and maybe a comma somewhere, that, there are some different roads. Mm-hmm. There are some on-ramps and off-ramps we could take with it. So let's see what we come up with here. Break Me Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm also a fan of the alliteration. My name actually has the same alliteration, so good job, Jill. And thank you for sending this in.
Brent Baxter, Break Me Beautiful.
Right, exactly. It's the same kind of stuff. But one of the first things I think of is like, it's so beautiful it'll break you. Like, man, that's Break Me Beautiful.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Stop My Heart, Gorgeous.
She was Break Me Beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful. Stop My Heart, Gorgeous, whatever. Break My Neck, Walking By kind of thing. So, and there's many shallow ways to do that. But really the first thing I think of is like, it's so beautiful, man. It just makes you cry, like breaks your heart, just like in the best way. Like, we've been watching The Chosen lately. So, like, every episode, Jesus just breaks my heart and just makes me cry. So, I think of that kind of stuff. Like, oh, my gosh, that scene, that moment between those people was so beautiful. It's like, broke me. Like, just makes me cry,
Sure.
The water kind of thing. So, I can think one angle would be, like, what are some of those situations that are just, like, break me beautiful? It could be a sunset. It could be a moment with God or a moment with your child, one child being super sweet to another child. There are all these life kind of applications that are just, whew. Or maybe you're up in your head, and you're totally self-absorbed, got your own stuff going on. And then you just see this thing that brings you back to reality. Almost like I complained that my feet hurt. Then I saw someone with no legs.
Yeah.
Just living life and being all right. And that's like, oof, that's Break Me Beautiful. That's like reality slap.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. So that's kind of the first thing
I thought of something real quick too. Like you kind of triggered this, Brent, when you were saying, but like
I'm triggering. I've been told that
you could play, you could play off of "Break Me," right? Like, and it would "Break Me Beautiful" being the tag on the whole thing. But like you break on the car, you break your neck, you break me. You know, all those, like, what kind of things could you kind of a listicle that you could put out there? And she was "Break Me Beautiful," you know, something like rhyme it like that. I thought like you had to slow down you had to hit the brakes to watch her. You had to, you almost broke your neck.
Broke every other plan I had with the guys tonight.
Yeah. So she's "Break Me Beautiful." Yeah. Like, and all those, like you could really have a fun time with that and go pop country with it, you know?
Yeah. Like I can already tell she would totally break my heart if she said no. She's "Break Me Beautiful."
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's a lot of ways you could play off of that and, you know, put that girl up on a pedestal, which is what they want and all that.
Just not a bad thing. So,
no.
Tammy, we'll talk right over you.
You know, I tend to listen, but one of the things that I do, you know, pretty quickly on when somebody spits out a title is words to me imply a rhythm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you said that phrase, the first thing I thought of was "Break Me Beautiful." So I tend to go from that kind of place. It's like, what are the rhythm of the words? You know, the mood of the song. You know, is it fast? Is it slow? Is it a ballad? I mean, maybe that's just the musician in me coming out.
And that's not a bad thing. Yeah.
Well, you know, and it was fun to hear you guys kind of riffing off each other, you know, because, you know, musically, those ideas would be way different from what I just sang.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
Which is precisely the point of this exercise.
Right.
So you are so on point right now. I love it.
Yeah.
The beginning was fabulous.
Yeah. You know, that's kind of where I start usually. It's like whatever those words kind of musically, that's just really important to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what's the vibe of this?
Yeah.
You know, what rhythm of those words, where does that feel like it wants to sit? You know?
Yeah.
So then once I kind of figure or decide upon that, then that to me gives me my path.
Let you know kind of what should be said in this. That feels like this. And I love that little melodic thing you did. And that makes me think of like a gospel or CCM or some sort of spiritual song where you're talking to God. You're like, "Break me beautiful." Kind of like rub all these edges off. Like polish me till I shine. Like, even though it's going to hurt, like I need to be sanctified. I need to be more like you. I need to be more beautiful. I need to be more like Jesus or whatever. So even though it might hurt.
Yeah. The other thing that I would probably mess around with, you know, kind of in that idea is it could probably be written in such a way that it could be, you know, like a big, you know,
kind of power ballad kind of thing, you mean?
Power ballad, you know, "Break me beautiful, break me wonderful," you know, kind of play off the rhythm of the beautiful as well. So then you kind of have this big anthemic chorus, you know, kind of hooky chorus, and then, you know, tag it, you know, probably three other things: "Break me beautiful, break me wonderful, break me, you know, blah, 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 break me beautiful," you know, and kind of wrap it up so that the chorus is pretty general, you know, in a way. And then I would probably, if I wrote it that way, then I would make my verses much more specific, or the place to tell the story of what that chorus actually means or what it applies to.
Sure.
I wonder if it could be like a love thing, you know, where you're like, I have these walls.
Yeah.
They need to come down. I know it. You know, so you're talking to your love or potential love or whatever, like "Break me beautiful."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or break on through, you know, or.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or on that note, if you put a comma after "me."
Yes.
Break me beautiful.
There you go. Okay. There you go. Yeah. You're speaking to her, you know, "Break me beautiful," you know, tear down these walls. Kind of like a "I'm ready to be vulnerable" angle on it. Right.
Yeah. Tear down these walls, whatever. I'm ready to fall.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing.
I'm ready to fall. There you go. Yeah.
So that's fun and feels positive and, you know, all that good stuff. Big emotional.
Yeah. You know, with the putting beautiful in there, nothing about this title to me suggests like heartbreak or negative situation. You know, it seems more like a positive kind of situation, however way you went to write it.
Yeah.
You know, whether or you're drop dead to "Break me beautiful."
I have a cautionary. It could have a cautionary tone. You know, like two guys at a bar talking about a girl. right? Like you be careful with that because that's break me beautiful right there, right? Like, and then again, maybe the listicles, like break your bank account, break your,
She's
break
beautiful.
your heart, break up your family, break up, And I mean, it doesn't have to be like a family like you're married with kids, but like in an Aaron Rodgers kind of way, where what's her face,
I do not know that one.
Yeah, what's her face? I can't remember her name right now, but it was like one of the biggest names he was dating or whatever, but not the race car driver, but before her. And like all of a sudden he hadn't spoken to his parents in 2 years. You know what I mean? It was like, but kind of like, that's the kind of girl that, she's so beautiful. She says, jump, you're going to say how high. Be careful before be careful what you ask God for, right? Like, because what if she says yes? That's break me beautiful, right? Like,
yeah, almost in a Morgan Wallen kind of way of some of his stuff like Whiskey Eyes and some of that stuff, or Should Have Been a Warning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
some of that stuff could be like, yeah, she's beautiful, but she's break me beautiful. Like, this is what she did to me kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun. But also, what if it's like, you break me beautiful? Like, you break me beautiful. Like, put a U on the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's a little bit more of like, I have the walls and stuff, but you break me, you break through. Like, more, this is what you do for me. Instead of the others kind of asking for that, this could be like, you do this.
Like you're Let's Fight.
Right.
What if it's the next song after Let's Fight? Right? Like where you're making up on a fight. And it's like, all these things happen. Like you could be really specific about like real life things that couples fight over. Mm-hmm. And then, but it's all about forgiving. Like, but at the end of the day, you break me beautiful. Like, I don't want you to tell me, I don't want you to be the mirror for me, that it pisses me off when I see things that I'm doing wrong. You know what I mean? So it's like self-deprecating in a way, but you can go really deep with that and be like really kind of heavy, cool with it and vulnerable and brave,
That's cool. I have an idea too of like, I'm not going to let Ruby Jean, my 8-year-old daughter, nope, she cannot have that toy. She cannot have that snack. She cannot have that. But then she smiles. Oh, you break me beautiful.
Yeah.
Blinks her eyes.
They're like, okay, I'm broken. I'm done. It could even be that. Like, I'm going to be strong. I'm going to say no. And then you break me beautiful. Like, okay.
If you want to add some more words to it, and you change the tempo, you're gonna break me, beautiful angel, break. You could kind of make it that feel too. So,
I love that. Okay, you're gonna break me. I like. See, now we can put stuff in it. We can put stuff before it and behind it. I like where you're going.
That's right.
Don't break me, beautiful. Right?
Yeah.
Don't break me, beautiful. You're gonna break me, beautiful angel.
Yeah.
You're gonna take me. Hit some of those internal rhymes, especially if you come back around to tag the end of that chorus with "Break Me Beautiful."
Uh-huh.
Then you're still definitely on that same title.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it gives it more tempo. You're going to break me, beautiful angel, which has that kind of duality in there.
Yeah.
You're going to break all my bad habits.
Yeah.
That's right.
Puts it more in the Morgan Wallen kind of modern contemporary country.
Oh, well, okay. So on that note, you said bad habits. So springboarding, I'm like the springboard guy today. So what if it's a tongue-in-cheek thing? Who was it that did Honky Dog Put Honkin' On?
Trace Atkins.
Like a Trace Atkins vibe, right? Where it's self-deprecating and you're talking about all those bad habits you have. You're chewing tobacco, you chew with your mouth open.
Mm-hmm.
All these things could be like really super funny, but she's going to break me and she's going to break me beautiful. Something along that line. So it could be campy.
Campy, yeah. And I also wonder, like, we've been assuming that the me is a person. What if the song is from the point of view of something other than a person? A promise, a habit. Could you sing from that point of view, and could there be something there?
You could go super dark with that and be like from the point of like a heroin addiction.
Yeah, she's gonna break me beautiful.
Yeah, or it could be again spiritual there too. But then the dark, I need God to pull me out of this. Like I need faith, I need hope.
What if we're like going super dark, like metal kind of thing, where it's the addiction that is like going, don't break me beautiful. You need me. We go together.
Master of Puppets or something.
Yeah. Hush, little baby. So that could be like
Master of Puppets, I'm pulling your strings.
There you go. Yeah, that kind of thing where it's like, the addiction is calling you beautiful and saying how much fun we have together, and you can't make it on your own anyway. Don't break me.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so like
this is the fun stuff.
Like your own
We're gonna write this.
like Depeche
James
Mode.
Hetfield calls me and wants to, but what?
I'm gonna say like Depeche Mode, your own personal Jesus.
Oh yeah,
It's a heroin song. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, someone to pick up the phone when you're alone.
Yeah.
Your own personal Jesus. Like, it's like, oh, it's so heavy.
Have you heard the Johnny Cash cover of that? Because that's the version I know.
Oh, he covered your own personal Jesus?
Oh yeah, on those American recordings, like when he did "Hurt" and some of that.
No.
Oh, that's the version
I heard Hurt, but I gotta check that out.
Go. You're welcome.
I'll be doing that immediately after this. That's cool.
So, which is also a fun way to break into some of these ideas is to go, oh, how would Johnny Cash do that? How would Metallica do that?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, which can open up different melodic ideas and different lyrical angles of it, because, oh, how would Miley Cyrus do this? Is going to lead you down a different road mentally than how would, I don't know, Johnny Cash do it, or how would whoever do this. So that's fun sometimes to go, okay, add that as a theme on to the song title challenge. Here's the title, In the Style of.
Yeah. Now we just turned it into Jimmy Fallon with the
There we go. In the style of
with the roto thing or whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Because, like in Eric Church, Break Me Beautiful could be that, I'm that guy, I'm that kind of rebel with walls and all this stuff. But, oh, you break me beautiful. You tear these walls down, you wound me wonderful, whatever. Keep me 6 feet above ground. You could have that kind of stuff in there if it's more of like a churchy thing, Eric Church thing. Mm-hmm. Let's see. It's a good title, though. What else we got? Or are we running out the clock now?
I feel like we got some good looks at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how long we've been doing it for.
I don't know either. I gotta think of a bluegrass thing, which would be like, Don't Break Me Beautiful Angel, or You're Gonna Break Me Beautiful Angel. Could be cool. Mm-hmm. If it's like a male thing, Break Me Beautiful, you kind of turn this heart of stone back into a heart of flesh and blood, right? Like, get through this tough exterior and it kind of open me up, right? Mm-hmm. Open up this heart of mine because I haven't been feeling anything for too long. That could be kind of a cool way, which could be bluegrass or country or rock or whatever. So yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah. Like all good titles, you've got several different ways. And that's always, to me, the hard part is, finally deciding, well, which way are we going?
Yeah, thankfully, we don't have to do that today.
That's right. That's right. Well, we got some good looks at this. Thank you so much for saying yes, Danny. That was fun.
Yes.
We don't often get melodies on this.
Mm-hmm. And they are a welcome addition for sure.
Heck yeah. That just took it to another level, girl. Like, that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, guys, send in your song titles to...
Oh, real quick, Tammy, where can we follow you and the Steel Drivers and all that good stuff?
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. The Steel Drivers, we're on the face page and steeldrivers.com and Insta. And I think now we're tweeting. Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else do the kids do? TikTok, mm-hmm. all that kind of stuff. So probably if you just punch in, do a search for Steel Drivers, any of that stuff will pop up.
What's the new record I just saw?
Let's see. We don't have anything super new. We've recorded a couple new tracks that will come out soon. We did a track for a Dave Olney tribute album.
Cool.
That's in the works, and we're super excited about that. Matt sounds incredible.
Of course.
Yeah. It was actually a Steve Goodman tune called If My Eyes Were Blind, which is an amazing song. If you're not familiar, check it out. I thought he'd written it. And then when we got in the recording, I'm like, no, this is Steve Goodman, but Dave recorded it. And it was one of his big pieces that he did live. So that was really cool to do that. And then we just recorded a track for a Gaither tribute album.
Oh, nice.
You guys are some of the first to know about it.
Oh, exclusive right here on the
world, wide announcement there. Yeah. So we're super excited to be included on that.
I just hope it's called Gaither Pride. Gaither Pride. No, anyway, maybe not.
I don't know what it's being called, but we did a cool version of, I believe, In a Hill Called Mount Calvary. So if you know that tune, great old Gaither family tune.
That's cool.
So yeah, we're hoping to get in the studio actually next month.
Awesome. Good deal. So Steel Drivers, y'all go find them and you'll love them. So good.
Yep.
Such good stuff. So Johnny, sorry, go ahead. Do your thing.
No, that was great. I'm glad we got all that stuff. So what are the handles on social media though? Is it Steel Drivers or Steel Drivers Band or what?
Just Steel Drivers. Yeah.
The Steel Drivers?
Mm-hmm. The Steel Drivers.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, Tammy King. Tammy Rogers King, right?
Yes. Yeah. I still go by Rogers professionally, but I mean, I've been married to Jeff King now for 25 years, so everybody knows the King part. So Tammy Rogers King, and that way all the checks cash. So
There we go.
Amen.
All right, guys, we'll send your titles into info@daredevilproduction.com, and you just might get somebody epic like Tammy Rogers King on the show to help flesh out your idea. This podcast exists because we want you to win, so keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.
good luck with your song, Jill.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Jill, good job.